Hi, I'm Meg Thomas. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we're going to talk about the Aztec Death Whistle. So the Aztec Death Whistle was discovered around sometime in the 1990s. They were doing an archaeological excavation in Mexico City, and they found these whistles that were in the grasp of skeleton hands. So they're not sure what the purpose of the whistles are. There's a lot of debate around it and several theories. One theory is that they were using it for religious ceremonies. Another was that they were using it to guide the souls of the deceased to the afterlife. Another is that they were using it to honor the gods when they were doing a human sacrifice. Now, this did look like it could have been a human sacrifice, as the skeleton had been decapitated and it was holding these whistles. But who knows? Another theory, the Aztecs were known for their warfare, and it's a possibility that they used this within their psychological warfare. When the Aztecs were approaching their opponent, oftentimes they would be playing these huge wooden drums, and they could have been potentially blowing into these death whistles, and so their opponents would hear it as they were getting closer and closer. It's actually cited that when the Aztecs were at war with the Spaniards said that it was like the sounds of hell getting closer and closer. So it's a pretty interesting theory. This is what mine looks like. This is an Aztec death whistle. Generally, they're ceramic. You'll also find them, made from 3D printers and things like that. So out of other materials. This is where you blow into it, and then that's like the exit hole there. To produce the sound, you're really just blowing with some force and letting it flow through the instrument, and not doing anything to cut the sound off or change it in any way. Just letting it flow through. Let me give you a sample of what it sounds like. So you can imagine if there were hundreds of these soldiers approaching, playing these big wooden drums, blowing these whistles, how intimidating that would sound. Now, you could also say there's another theory that they were honoring the wind gods, because if you blow with less force and you can kind of manipulate the sound a little bit, it does emulate wind. And let me give you a sample of that. The Aztecs also did make what's called a jaguar whistle, and this is not that. But you can kind of get a little bit of a sound of a jaguar with it. And you can elicit a lot of different tones, I'm sure, and pitches and things all out of this instrument. It's pretty fascinating. But here's a little simulation of that. So this is the Aztec Death Whistle. A lot of times made with skulls and things like that. Generally cool imagery with all of them. Yeah, so they found around 15th century is where they've found some of these, but they're still learning about it. It's still a kind of a mystery. So that's the Aztec Death Whistle. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed that, check out some of my other videos, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. I'm Meg Thomas. Thank you.